Ooga booga. I'm just gonna jump right into this. I am so done with this. This wall has eaten my soul. So I'm gonna be doing this, unfortunately. So how are you all tonight? Hey Soy, hey Copperator, hey Matthias, hey Universin, hey Officer Steven, hey Arabella. Okay, make sure I got everybody, I hope. Goody goody. So yeah, it's we're getting, oh damn it, it just had to start raining, didn't it? Oh well. I had to turn off the shaders just so that I could be sure the iron is actually being placed, because like when I turn on my shaders, it's very unfriendly. There we go. For like how it's supposed to look. Although actually with the dimming from the rain, it actually is kind of, you can kind of tell what's being placed now. It's actually not that bad. But it was way worse when the sun was at its brightest. Oh yeah, and also these parts wore off. Or cut off, rather. So I've had to sort of do some guesswork to get the these parts over here to, you know, look right. But I think it'll be alright. Riz? No. No, no more Riz, please. I'm ready for that word to die. But sadly, it's probably like, do you know DOA, in that it will linger like a bad odor for months. Until finally everybody accepts that it is long, long dead. Oh well, what can you do? Okay. I don't think I've got any stairs. Do I have some down in here? Well, at least the wall is taking shape, all things considered. I got some more stuff. Yeah, I knew I had stairs somewhere. So yeah, this area is it's coming along. You know, it's beginning to really mirror that opposite wall over there. I'll start the 2-kilometer big plane soon, along with maybe the Blackbird version 4. Dude, you are a machine, Copperator. I mean, by all means, go for it, but just, wow. I mean, 2 kilometers, though, like, would such an insanely large plane even be able to get off the ground? I mean, I guess if you had, you know, the right materials, the right, you know, everything, I suppose. I find that hard. Like, there's got to be some sort of limit in terms of absurdity, how large a plane can be before it cannot take off effectively. I don't know. With enough engines, the right design, it sure could. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I know the principles are a lot like with buoyancy, how it just doesn't matter as long as you can meet the requirements, but I'm saying, like, at a certain point, the mass becomes prohibitive. I don't think you could have enough engines. Gonna try out the Vulcan mod, see if you get more FPS with the sodium. Okay. Yeah, let me know how that goes. Because I love sodium. Sodium really, like, just overhauled my world. It made the... Like, I wouldn't be able to... Even with this big monster computer, I could maybe have chunks out to here okay with vanilla or with Optifine. But yeah, no, sodium was like... Sodium is such a difference. Massive, massive improvement to FPS. I'm very happy Andrew told me about sodium. Such a good mod. Oh, fuck. I do have fast place on. Okay. Didn't want fast place on. But yeah. So, I guess I should get to the topic at hand. So, recently, Space Valkyria 4, or what I was planning to be Space Valkyria 4 as far back as 2020, That place got found. Some rando stumbled across it. He said he found beacon beams, or got beacon effects, and then doubled back and found it. And so that's how Space Valk 4 got found. Just random person traveling, you know. The typical story. So basically Space Valk 4, even though I think I've shown it on stream before, has been compromised. It was sort of an open secret, but since a lot of 2BG players don't really watch my streams anymore, nobody really, like, knows about it. But yeah, recently I gave away the coordinates and the contents to a bunch of people. So Space Valk 4 is no longer on 2B2T because it is gone. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust and all that. All that fancy stuff. Okay, I'm going to need some andesite. Oh well, actually I guess I could do another tour of it. It's not really like super important. Because like it's old news. But like I guess there are just enough people who would be curious as to what was there. Hermetic Lock took a world download. He was there. I invited Herm to it I think it was around 2020, funny enough. And he crashed there for a while. But after that, I really never, like... I never went back onto 2B2T except for Midnight. The Midnight organization. And that was really only a one-off thing anyway. So, like, I was never really concerned with it. And so if it got found, I didn't care. Space Valk 4 was an interesting concept that I never really got off the ground. It would have been a completely different style than what you guys would be used to. I did do a bunch of quartz stuff, like what I'd normally make. But then about halfway through that, I just got so bored with it, because I was tired of seeing it. I had already done that exact same thing. What, three times before? Oh, hey, Ed. Welcome. So, yeah, I was just like, nah, fuck this, I'm out. And so I was done. D-U-N, I was done. So when I abandoned it, I was just like, whoever wants it can have it. If it gets found, whatever, I'm out. Whoa, piglins. Anger. Yeah, so this is the hardcore Tower of Autism, is what I call it. So this wall over here is going to be a copy of this wall on this side here. This side wall runs north to south. And so this whole shape is a hexagon. You can kind of see it's sort of hexagonal from the beacon beams. A little bit. It's easier to see from up above. And so this wall is unique. And then the wall that will go here when I'm done with this one, that one will be a unique shape. And then this wall will be a unique shape. And then this one will be too. So these two walls that run north-south, they are copies of each other. Or will be. And there you go. And then I can fill the internal bits when I've got a wall. Or when I've got 6 walls on me. I may or may not make a roof at that time. And then I can finally fill in the guts and the innards of this place. Because it's a lot of empty space right now. And that bugs me. I don't like having empty space in my towers. Hey, Skykeeper, what are my future plans for Constantium? Whatever I'm building, and then when I get done with that, I'll go on to do some other building. And I'll try to detail and chronicle the entire experience. Like, it's really not that unique. There does probably have to come a point where you would likely have to install helium balloons in the wings to allow all the big metal planes oh, okay. I suppose? I don't know. It may just come a point where you just need enough lift and thrust from the engine. Obviously, you still get diminishing returns, but like at a certain point, I don't know, it may not matter. if you've got enough engines or means of propulsion, then just good luck. I would be worried about a massive enough plane tearing itself apart at some point, but that could be wrong. I don't know if metamaterials end up taking off, we'll see. Blimps aren't used because they suck at lifting weight. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, this fast place is so good. How long did it take for me to make this? Well, currently, this is episode 153. So, about a year and some change. To be fair, this build would not have taken a year if I played this world religiously. I really only play it on stream. I don't try to do too much intense stuff behind the scenes. I try to do everything on camera. Just for fear if I die, you know, like, that'll be a giant setback and then everybody will wonder, well, what happened? Well, keep that for, you know, on-stream view. But yeah, wow, this is a great view. Oh man, this is going to be so good when I got, like, scaffolding and catwalks and tunnels and all sorts of things going crisscrossing everywhere. Oh, it's going to be so good. This is a build I've based off of the Citadel from Half-Life 2. It's not like a perfect one-to-one or anything. It's just sort of inspired by. I'm going my own direction with it. Oh, I don't have iron chains in my inventory. Let's get this. I need sea lanterns. I got that. Okay. So yeah, it's just sort of a culmination of all my efforts. I've gotten to day... Now, it's not going to say right here. Where is it? Day something. Oh, God, I can't... Day 408. That's not right. 408 is incorrect. My actual time is... what is it? Playtime? Time played. World Open is a little misleading because I think that's just AFK. 6.33 days, so 26 days and a quarter, and a third. Like, that's more accurate. So that actually puts me somewhere around day 2000. I had a mod that I was playing with that I inadvertently uninstalled, and then when I changed it back, I inadvertently opened this world without it installed, and then I reopened the world with it installed, and it somehow reset. It reset a bunch of stuff. I've since stopped playing with that mod. It was a fun mod, though. Dimensional doors. Really wild. I think it's up to date, but, like, I don't know. I don't feel like fooling with it again, to be honest. Oh, crap. Let's just turn on easy place and brainlessly do it. So I cut off the schematic, like, right here on accident, so this section's not included, even though it should be. So no easy place for this side. You don't mind sharing, what's my future plans for Constantine beside my current build? I already told you, Skykeeper. I'm just gonna do whatever comes to mind, and then... Yeah, I don't know. I'm not thinking that far ahead. I don't really need to. Like, that was how I was on 2B2T. I didn't think beyond, like, immediate ideas or plans. Oh, God. Now I can't tell where I've placed stuff and I haven't. So, like, if a problem arises or some sort of thing occurs, I don't know. We'll worry about it when it happens. Hey, Divine. Hey, Cypher. Love you, big dog. Arf, arf. Well, thank you. All right, let's get some iron going. Jack will build a 1 kilometer big plane on Constantium. You and your planes, Copperator. Good lord. As for other like projects after, like, say, hardcore, or rather when this tower in hardcore is done, and other things like, you know, what will I do when Space Valk 3 is finished? Like, I'm not thinking about that. There are far too many possibilities that are open to me, so I ain't worried about it. As for what exactly I'll do, I'll cross those bridges when I come to them. Say hi? Okay, I'll say hi to you, Arabella. You should probably go to bed. She is, she's had problems today, and, well, let's just say it's not been nice. It's not been fun. I feel bad for her. But that's all I'm gonna say on that front. Anyway. Oh, but yeah. I saw something really interesting from Sabina Hassenfeld. At least I think I said her name right. I don't know. I can't. That woman's name is German. Saying those names is impossible. And it was a really interesting topic. It was about collective intelligence and collective stupidity. Really, it got you thinking. Basically, she talked about how the magnification of, I guess intelligence is the right word, but like it's not really the right word. It's more like the magnification effect of like cooperation. Oh, crap. And how it's really easy for a system like that to get thrown off if the right tweaking isn't done. And it's actually kind of funny to see, damn it, how many examples in nature there are of that. For example, I didn't know that ants could inadvertently confuse themselves and just start going around in a circle until they literally die. Because they follow the scent trails of the ants in front of them. And so a little vortex whirlwind type effect can happen. So the ants will just sort of swirl around and around and around in a circle, just following the ant in front of them. It's very bizarre. But yeah, I guess, nothing is truly perfect. And then she, of course, voiced that AIs could do similar things. Vulkan gives you good FPS boost, but it doesn't work with shaders. Sadly, there's some lag spikes. Oh, well, forget it. If it doesn't work with shaders, I don't want it. I don't want any part of it. Shaders are too good to give up these days. But anyway. So, fellow Zoomers, are you all ready to have TikTok be banned out from under you? Oh, crap. I know I am. No, in all honesty, though, I don't think anything's going to happen to TikTok. I think it's all a bunch of huff and puff with all about 0% chance of actually going anywhere. Are you aware that you're such and such to spy on us? And for those of you who don't know, there's a guy called Some Ordinary Gamer who basically did a really good, cover on this. And he basically said that they all do this. All the big social media people. TikTok is dumb as hell. Yeah, it's dumb, but like, it wasn't anything specific to TikTok as much as it was just, they all collect and harvest data. They're all vampiric. They're all bad. Facebook, YouTube, Google. I mean, and he just advocated for, the monopolies to be broken up. Because they are just that. They're a pack of vampires. They're not really user-friendly, and they aren't, competently designed anymore. They're more... They reward, the rich get richer kind of thing. They reward that sort of... I don't know. It's designed intentionally to keep people from, actually... It's not YouTube, we've all made that gag, but, it's legitimate. It truly is. Just... It's a farce. Farce tube, that's what we should call it. It's a sick joke. And yeah, I would love that. I think President Trump advocated for that at one point, although it fell on deaf ears, breaking up the monopoly of Google, Facebook, YouTube, etc. TikTok, Twitter, all that stuff. Just smash them into little itty bitty pieces. Whether or not that will ever go through is anyone's guess. Hey, Stone Cold Killer. Hey, Top. They should all use Arch. Uh-huh. You and your Arch. What is it with Arch, man? Why are you such a, I don't know, an acolyte of Arch? What is the deal with that? It's the thing that automatically is placing blocks for them. Yeah, it's just for, like, ease of convenience. I could place all this easily. Manually, rather. But do you really wanna? Like, if you didn't have to place every block in a build manually, and you just click a button and have it all be done for you, especially if you've already built it once, wouldn't you? Like, it just makes sense to me. Shorten your own workload. Okay. God, DOVA-Syndrome has some of the weirdest music on there, but also some good stuff too. Suppose it's my fault for choosing some of that weird stuff. Of course, this is where the schematic cuts off, so this part I have to manually add. But that's fine. I can deal. All messages. What the fuck is farts? Yeah, I don't understand. If you grind it for blocks and design the build in creative, I would not feel bad using a schematic. Yeah, exactly. You've basically done 80% of the work, which is the brain power to, you know, arrange everything in a nice, pleasing manner. And then obviously you got the resources legitimately. So, yeah, go for it. Go crazy, man. I do have to draw the line, however, when people, and I've seen this happen far too many times, when people will use a schematic that they got from Planet Minecraft or somewhere, and then they'll just paste it at their bases. They'll get the materials legitimately, but they didn't put any of the effort, the brain power, into the creation. And they'll just make a schematic. Or worse, the schematic will be totally hollow inside, and they won't even build their own internals or nothing. Like, it's awful. Another module in Tweakaroo that restocks your items when you're low. And if there are more items in your... Okay. This massive and repetitive, I mean... Oh, yeah, I know. It's so massive and repetitive. Like, any corner-cutting measures you could take are a welcome addition. Again, do you want to manually... Do you want to see me do it this way? Like, I could, but I'd rather do it this way. This is more fun. Because, see, I can run around at lightning speed and just bam, bam, bam. It's all in place. I don't got to think about it. Although, actually, I do have to think about my items. We should be getting near the end of the iron section. I'm running out of iron blocks, which means... And I calculated up exactly how much I need. So, like, we're, like, almost right over there. So, yeah, we're almost to the end of the iron section. And then it's... you can't see it easily from this end. But that's all red nether brick over there. And I think I've already farmed up enough red nether brick for that. I didn't calculate the red nether brick, though. But we'll see. If I'm only a few bricks short, I think I can fire up a few bits and make it all work. Okay. Another one of these. Hi, Hungry. I'm Ed. Hi, Ed. I'm Jack. Could you maybe show us the finished build that I made in Creative? What build in Creative? There is no finished build in Creative. You have misinterpreted another commenter's, or no, Totma. You've misinterpreted what Totma said. What Totma said is that if he designs something in Creative and grinds for the blocks legitimately, he has no qualms with using a schematic. I have not designed anything in creative. All I'm doing is I designed the other wall on the opposite side of the tower there. I designed that manually by hand. And I decided where every single block and every single feature would go. Let me fly over there. So like every single bit of this was just my brainchild. I thought of it as I thought of it and came up with it and placed every block where I thought it should go, where I thought it would look nice. And then from there, it just looks, it is what it is. You know, you get what you get. Like there's no creative designing for me. I always freehand what all I build. The only exception is exactly the opposite wall, which I said is a copy. Or it's hard to see it from here. But yeah, the opposite wall is a copy of this wall, which I took many, many, many streams and many hours to painstakingly design by hand in real time. So I'm just copying this wall over here, using an already existent, you know, thing as reference. And that's it. Like there's no creative mode version of this base to show off. I mean, I could. If I really wanted to, I could make a copy of this world, go into creative mode, and then finish up the base in there. And then using that, I could easily, you know, just turn it all into a schematic and follow that. I could. But I find that creative mode designing is kind of not as interesting. Like, it's okay on stream, but for like private designing, for fun, I like to build things by hand. I freehand everything I make in Minecraft. I don't do a whole lot of creative mode designing. I just don't need to. I just don't care to. It's not high on my priority list to do. So no, I've always freehanded everything I've done. Now, when I make something, and I want that something to be symmetrical, you know, so it has multiple, you know, repeating features. Now, why does that go yellow? That's the right block. Why is this yellow? I don't get it. Anyway, but yeah, when I'm designing something, I prefer to design whatever I'm doing naturally, as inspiration strikes me. I feel like I get a better product that way. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe designing in creative mode is an overall more, you know, better process. I don't know. I don't care. I enjoy how I do things. The build on Constantium that everybody's kind of wondering about, that is a day-by-day, moment-by-moment process. I don't think so much about it. It's not something I'm that concerned about. So, you know, I'll take it one step at a time. One foot in front of the other. That's how I build. That's how I design. That's how I make. I don't gotta worry about it. Check DMs, okay. Oh, yeah, actually, I can just say this out loud. Yeah, Space Valk 4 was found. Basically, some random guy flew over it, noticed that there were beacon effects, and then doubled back to check and found it, and, you know, whatever. I gave as much as I could to Universin and to a few others. And that's about it, really. The place getting found is just whatever. I already like stopped caring about it literally years ago. Like, I abandoned the place in 2020, literally a month after I started making it. Like, that just goes to show I was never that intent on finishing it. Yeah, I'm glad you got there before it was found. But overall, it doesn't matter, man. I even said when you were there, I'm not coming back. I'm not doing anything more. And that's just how it is. Like, 2B2T has no soul to it anymore. It is not the place that it used to be. Whereas, funny enough, I was on Constantium earlier this very afternoon, and there were like 5 or 6 older players that I remember, including some Nerds Inc. people. And I was just like, damn. Damn, it's a literal pre-2016 reunion. And you know that's how it goes. Like, Constantium really is kind of pre-2016 2B2T now. At least in my opinion. So I don't really have a reason to go back to 2B2T. And I know a lot of people are like, well, 2B2T is the map. Like, you got to go back because of the map. And I'm like, no, not really. It's not worth it. The soulless map is just whatever. If there's nobody cool, or if, you know, the people running the place are money-grubbing assholes or whatever, I couldn't care less. Like, Alpha and I have basically come to the same conclusion. Housemaster has zero interest in keeping the server up to date. There's nothing that's really interesting about the place anymore. It's just, it is a shell of its former self. What can I say? And I think it will stay that way for the foreseeable future. Yeah, nobody knows 6 XCC2. Okay, good. I'm glad you have some XCC2 banners to gloat over. Or cherish, or whatever. Didn't tell me that? I don't give a shit. Take whatever, man. You could have taken the whole stash. I wouldn't have cared. Sometimes you get the itch to joining it, but remember, they don't always trust the people running it now. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's shady, too. We can't even verify who owns the place, let alone what their intentions are. So, like, I think it's easy enough to infer that they just want to keep the show running. They aren't going to maliciously utilize people's information for anything. But at the same time, why should I feed, you know, into the coke addiction? You know what I mean? Yeah, there's probably not really a coke addiction. That's probably just a meme. But realistically, like, even if there isn't a coke addiction, what is House doing with that money? He's probably made millions of dollars off 2B2T. Like, do I need to contribute to that? No. So, overall, it's best to just up and leave. Means that you have no more stashes. Oh, no. Oh, well. Nobody even plays anymore. It just cycles through new players every month. Yeah, exactly. Like, that feels to me like the death knell of 2B2T. It's just, there are just enough players to sort of offset it right now. And maybe some other form of hype will occur. Sort of like how Fit revived Mr. Beast's server. But that said, that's not going to be anything like substantial. If the server updated, that would be something substantial. If the server changed hands, that would be hopefully substantial. But overall, I wouldn't. I would not hold my breath because I think you will die of asphyxiation. 2B2T is just not worth it. Isn't the same you left when you heard about NoCom and just couldn't be bothered to put any effort in the server. Yeah, exactly. Constantium is just so much better. Like, I genuinely cannot believe that it took so long for a server to be the next 2B2T. But I'm pretty sure that will be Constantium. It's not as old, no. But it certainly has spirit. And it has an interesting premise. And it's up to date. And there's a magic to that. And then all the people I know are on there now. Or a lot of people I know are on there. And it's just like, it's like living in the Soviet Union. And then the Iron Curtain falls, and you're like, oh, I can go out into the real world. I can be free. I can live. And then you go out and realize that the world was just a better place without the Soviet Union. Or something like that. It's a bizarre analogy, but like, that's how I feel. And well, it'll be what it'll be. I wonder when it will die. Legitimately. Read that. You might find it interesting. They claim they didn't leak or grief it at all. You know what? I don't really care now. I heard from someone that 2 days after NoCom, someone found a bypass to it and are using it to this day, and they still have access to all those bases. Huh. Well, whatever. Really wish you joined Constantium in 2016. Wasted so much time on 2B2T. I don't know that it would have been as good in 2016. I think the thing with Constantium is that it's like wine. At what point does the grape mash become wine? Like, does it become wine the instant you put it in the cask? And what, let it sit for a month? 2 months? Like, where's the dividing line? At what point do you get the product? And I think for Constantium, that was recently. Because especially with what I've been told, I don't think Constantium was worth joining when it first started. Because also, for those of you who aren't aware, Constantium was also stuck on 112 for ages and ages and ages with no update in sight. But Constantium and the people running it took the initiative to change that. So I'm thinking that was enough to set it apart. That was enough to kick it over the edge and make Constantium the above and away better server. And that's what it took. Was, you know, this big dividing line, I guess. Yeah, that's the best way I can put it. Constantium has come into its own now. And it's a world of difference. I don't know. There's been a little adamant abuse on Constantium compared to the other clones. Exactly. Constantium is maintained in such a way that you could be fooled if it is not the truth. You could reasonably be fooled into believing the admins care. That's the other big difference. The update is proof that the people running the place actually want the place to run well. And not just run, like with Housemaster on 2B2T, how you can very obviously tell he just wants the gravy train to keep rolling. He doesn't really care about how. And that's fine. But you reap what you sow on that one. You know, you rest on your laurels, and whatever happens, happens, I guess. And I'll admit I've kind of done that to a degree, too. I'm not immune. Hey, just a tad. It's actually a pretty good analogy. Thank you. And so, yeah, Constantium has only recently been worth my while. Or worth anyone's while. I think Constantium could have updated to 117 or 116. Back when those were new. Honestly, don't know why that didn't happen. But then, I don't know what went on behind the scenes, so, not important. Whatever is in the past at this point. I care not for the past any longer. Which is also why I don't really care to go back to 2B2T, because, well, I kind of feel like if I did, I would just be mired in the past. And I don't feel like being mired in the past is the best way to live life. I want to live, to experience, not to just exist. And also, by extension, I want to move on. I don't really want the 2B2T audience. I don't really want the association with 2B2T anymore. Like, I cherish the memories and experiences I had there. I loved 2B2T back when it was good. I do not regret joining that place at all. I have minor, very, very minor regrets with how I acted or what I said or did in certain events and with certain people. But by and large, no, 2B2T was a great experience. However, you gotta move on. Everybody at some point has to move on, no matter what, when, where, who, or why. And I feel like that's just sort of how it happened. That was just the natural outcome. Inevitably, I would move on. And here we are. I moved on to greener pastures. And so here's hoping Constantium stays that way. Can I play some music? Can you grow ears? Nice. Is it not loud enough? Andrew, is the music loud enough? I genuinely don't know. I have my earbuds in, and so I can hear it fine. But if it's not like, if I'm drowning it out, I can bump it up a little. I can understand if it's too low. That does happen. Might need the ER again? Oh, sorry to hear that. How's the exploit history on Constantium? Can I build there without worry as long as in isolation? I think so, but I don't actually know what the exploit history on Constantium is like. I couldn't tell you what's happened there because for the longest time, Constantium was inferior to 2B2T. So I never played it. I never paid any attention to it. I know there were multiple dupes and other things like what happened on 2B2T. But to what level, I couldn't tell you. So I don't know. I would have to consult with somebody who moved from 2B2T in 2016. And they started playing Constantium in 2016. And they said that a lot of interpersonal drama from 2B2T carried over. And that it made Constantium a bit of a hellhole for a while. And that was another reason why I didn't play it back when it was first, brand new. Ooh. I'm gonna have to go make up some iron blocks. I may not have enough. So yeah, I don't know. I'm fairly certain, having updated to 1.19, like anything super compromising would be likely patched. Because NoCom was the result of a plugin that was basically bugged intentionally. I'm going to throw all this in here for a second so I have the inventory space to hold iron. And that was devious and all. But that was like predominantly just an oversight. I don't imagine that sort of thing could carry over to Constantium because Paper and all that has updated. And also Paper knows about NoCom. So they're not going to let that run. There's no way they let that fly. I hope. No idea if the Paper devs were aware of it at the time. I hope they were. But I don't actually know what went on behind the scenes. So who knows? Okay. I should have plenty of iron now. Just know that someone can always find an exploit. Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be an exploit, of course. It's quiet, but it's fine since you were talking. Okay. Well, I do want you to be able to hear it. Like, legitimately. I don't want it to be so quiet that it barely is audible in the, in the VOD. Piss off, Spider. Internet spiders and their glowy friends. Remember to take world downloads very often. Yeah. I'm using Replay Mod as a dirty, cheap way to make a world download. It actually works pretty good as a quick and dirty world downloader. But yeah, I'm fully aware that shit can go south in the blink of an eye. So I'm not, like, married to everything I'm doing. I'm fully aware that it can just be gone. But I hope not. I hope it doesn't. I would like for it to stick around a while. Give me the chance to, like, do it. Finish it, I mean. It's not bad in your opinion if it was only stashes that were insanely massive. There are people on Constantium who have insanely large stashes, from what I understand. Were any stashes deleted on Constantium? I don't believe so. That would be a very weird thing to hear about. There were lots of Chunk dupe and 1111 dupe and the donkey dupes. There have been, what, 4 different donkey dupes at this point? Like, there have been lots of that shit. But those were legal everywhere, not just 2B2T or Constantium. So, people have, of course, had their stashes made for a long time. That's, again, nothing new. But, yeah, I believe a lot of that is still around to some degree. None of it's been deleted. Alpha and I were able to get a guy who left He quit Constantium. I don't know when, a while ago. He quit, and so he bequeathed his stash to a guy who gave it to us. So, like, once again, it's who you know, or it's get insanely lucky and have there be an active exploit, and so on and so forth, yada yada. You know the deal. It's really just the same game as it is on 2B2T, just luck or social networking. So hey, yeah, there is a world downloader for 1.19, but I don't really care. Would you tour your big planes once a 2-kilometer plane and Blackboard 4 are done? Yeah, sure. I would happily. I love seeing your builds, Copperator. You got a good sense of design. I love seeing giant monstrosities that, like, defy expectation. You know, mega builds. I mean, it's why I do mega builds. I like defying people's expectations. I want your jaw to hit the floor when you see what I make. That's just my favorite thing. I put my all into it for that reason. And you know, there are always those who are like, well, what happens if it gets destroyed? Why don't you want it to, you know, it won't last forever. Like, aren't you sad? Why don't you give up? And again, I have to ask, you know, why live? If you're gonna have that attitude, you know, why are you breathing? Like, life is full of that shit. So, I mean, why not put your all into it, right? Go big or go home, as they say. Improve. Grow. Don't stagnate. Don't be you. And I'm speaking to myself as much as I am to anybody else out there. Oh, I need more iron. Chunk dupe and even the donkey dupe as a drop dupe can go ham. Yep. They indeed did. Jack the Rizza. Oh god. I wish that Riz stuff had never caught on. And I know exactly why it caught on, but like... Ugh, every time I see the word Riz, I want to die. Like, it was fun for the first 10 seconds, now it ain't. Uh-oh. Okay. There we go. Phew. Wanted to collect my stuff safely. But you used Rizorphic? What? I don't believe I've ever used that word, no. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't understand why people get mad when their base gets griefed. You are playing on a Minecraft server that is based on causing havoc. Personally, couldn't give any shit if it gets blown up. I mean, I understand why. You know, it's the loss of progress. It's the setback. That is frustrating. Like, it's okay to feel frustrated or get a little bit mad. But that you should accept it and move on eventually. That's always how I saw it. It's not nice to have your stuff be destroyed or to lose everything. Oh, fuck. But that, I get it. I get why it's done. I do expect it. You know, I'm not endorsing it so much as I'm like... It's just life, you know? Life is a cycle of death and rebirth. That's always how it's been. That's always how it will be. Shit. Shid. I felled. Ooh. That sunrise. That golden sunrise on that iron. That looks so beautiful. But yeah, like, I have expected... I'm actually very happy I joined 2B2T. Because that taught me the cycle of death and rebirth. Like, it taught me to look for it. And now I see it everywhere. Like, I understand. That's how the world has been. Not just 2B2T. But again, a lot of people are not aware of that. A lot of people are not expecting that sort of thing. They see it happen to others or they hear about it, and they don't think it'll ever happen to them. But that's not how it is. Life claims us all, and death claims us all. Nobody asks for either, but, well, that's life. That is the way of the universe. So you can either live knowing and accepting that, or you can live in fear of it, trying to deny it at every turn, at which point you will basically live your life in cowardice. You'll never be truly happy or fulfilled that way. Always living in the shadow of the fear of death. Or the fear of the end. Whatever it is. It doesn't necessarily have to be death. But it's the same idea. Oh, fuck. Why did it... Whatever. Oh. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents on the matter. You can't live cowering in fear of all that might happen. Okay. Of course, you prefer not to have your builds destroyed, but that's the whole point, to see how long you can go without it. Yeah, exactly. It's to see how long you can last. That's a good point, Skykeeper. Riz-tastic. Okay. I get it, Matthias. You enjoy the newest buzzwords. That's really cool. Or you can build semi-random coordinates and pray. I mean, technically any set of coordinates isn't random. Like, every number has a rhyme and reason to it. There's no such thing as true randomness. Whoops. Am I out of iron again? Seriously? Damn, I placed way more than I thought. But yeah, no, like, if you're expecting the natural patterns of things to just sort of forever be obscured, you don't get how the universe works. There's no such thing as true randomness because the universe operates on an ordered level. There is an order to the universe. Therefore, it can't be random. Not truly random. It can kind of sort of be random in ways. In things we can't understand because we don't have all the information. You know, there are seemingly random events because, again, we're missing some sort of crucial piece of information. But the truth is, no, the universe is not random. Not at all. It can't be. A truly random universe, I would argue, would be chaos. It couldn't have any sort of form or definition to it. Hey, Amion, how are you? Puff, don't hope the events will turn out the way you want. Welcome events in whichever way they happen. That's the only path to peace. Wow, yes. Thank you. Yeah, that's a great quote. Because it ain't wrong. Okay, this may barely be enough. Iron. Damn, look at that wall of solid metal. Me and the boys going to Jack's Constantine base with 90 shulkers of concrete to undo his progress. What type of concrete? If you're gonna use like the wrong color, yeah, you better believe you're gonna be undoing my progress, and I'm not gonna stand for that, Mike. Also, damn it, I needed more. Uh-oh. Sorry, hit the wrong button. That was not what I intended. That was the easy place hotkey. Gray? Okay, you better use the right color then. You better. Okay. Sorry about that. Momentary hotkey misfire. Spent the last few days traveling your account since you started on Constantine. Got into the 20 mils. Jeez. Yeah, why so far, man? I don't think you need to go that far out. But that's just me. You do you. I guess I'm not paranoid enough. I don't know. 20 million, Jesus. You know, I find it funny that a lot of these servers disable the nether roof, and yet you have people who still autistically go out to like 10, 20 million blocks. And it's just like, okay, I guess. You do you. But yeah, like, if the nether roof had been enabled, there would be no difference. Zero difference would achieve. So, I don't know. I guess that's kind of me soft advocating for nether roof travel. Just let that be the default. If you run a shitty 2B2T clone, just enable the nether roof. Disabling it is pointless. It doesn't achieve anything. Elytra have been in the game for many, many years now. You're not changing a thing. Unless you disable Elytra, in which case, then yeah, there's actual point to travel. Travel means something at that point. But as it is, nah. With Elytra, unless you have a world border, an artificially low world border, then I guess you could travel to pretty much anywhere instantly. Sort of like the fan server was. But yeah, overall, I don't know. You think someone can ever become a free will creature? Yeah, we have free will. There are a lot of people who try to negate free will, or the idea of free will. They try to disprove it, or they try to argue that, you know, this, and this are the reasons why you don't have free will. But it makes too much sense for there to be a free will element. And by that, I mean, in quantum mechanics, so far, what we have ascertained is that there are many different worlds, many different outcomes. Supposedly, that's one interpretation of it. Whether or not that is 100% the truth, we have yet to ascertain. But I would argue that if that is the truth, if there are many different worlds, you know, if that's the way that it actually works, I would argue that that proves free will. And here's why. If there are an infinite number of parallel worlds with all these outcomes, you know, taking place, okay, what then becomes the definer? Now, people say the observer. Well, then that would be you, right? The person experiencing some sort of an event. So then how is the event determined? Are you just given an event at random and just told, you know, this is destiny, this is how it would work, this is how it must play out? No, I'm pretty sure there's a free will element to this. You see the outcome that you have chosen. The outcome that corresponds to whatever conditions you live under. Okay, I need to scrounge for iron. So no, I think you having free will is essential for the many worlds interpretation to be real. Oh shit, I had a bunch of iron chains right there. And I made a bunch of iron chains for nothing. Damn it. Okay, I'm gonna have to cannibalize some of these beacon pyramids down here. The ones on the outer edge. How many more layers do I need to make? Know about Laplace's demon. Is that related to the Roko Basilisk problem? Laplace's demon. Let me look that up real fast. I think I've heard of it. It's a articulation of causal determinism on a scientific basis by Laplace in 1814. If someone, the demon, knows the precise location and momentum of every atom in the universe, their past and future values for any given time are entailed. They can be calculated from the laws of classical mechanics. Okay, so basically this is that theory of everything thing. Okay. Well, then that could be used to prove or disprove free will, couldn't it? But then, how would you know that much, everything in the universe? Like, that's what you're asking, or that's what you're demanding. If you know all of that, could you genuinely have that level of insight? I don't think you could. I think there will always be some element you're going to not be able to know. I think there's always going to be some element of this that will not work out. Yeah, if you know more about the place, you know less about the speed and vice versa. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think there's always a wrinkle that we won't know everything. There's going to be some element of this we are not going to be certain of. Learn for beat. I don't think it's worth caring about free will considering you make decisions every 10 seconds. Yeah, that too. I don't think it'll matter in the grand scheme of things anyway. Hey, Riolani, how are you? Good sir, the Midwest power serves you well. Yeah, I turned out all right. The tornado basically blew over us and did some rather unfortunate damage to a nearby town. But overall, no, I was all right. But see, I was sitting here in my chair yesterday. We had a power outage for like, I don't know, 10 minutes. Then the power came back on. And I was like, oh, wow, that's kind of bad. Let me shut my computer down for real. So I was sitting here playing on my Switch with nothing, no background music, no noise to distract me. And I gradually started hearing this noise, the whirring of the air, and it was picking up in intensity. And at first I thought, well, that must just be the rain whipping by. And as I began to hear and pay more and more attention to it, I realized, wait a minute. That's the air, not rain. Oh man, that's actual gale force rains. Oh shit. I think I'm hearing rotational forces. As in, this could be an actual tornado. And that's when I got up. Oh fuck, I hit the wrong button again. Ignore that. That's when I got up out of my chair, and I immediately went, oh no. Let me go out and look. And sure enough, like the wind, the clouds, it was all sort of moving in that style. And I was like, oh my God, this could be a real legitimate tornado. And so I was like, okay, goodbye everybody. If this is it, this is it. And then everything was okay. And it was definitely, then the power went out again for another hour. And then power came back. The rain and the mess had blown by for the most part. And that was that. So, scary as it was, it actually was all right. Meteorology unit in your school was many years ago. Oh, okay. Mean when you hit free cam instead of fly. Yeah, I know. Rolling fork. Outdoor tornado. Oh, yeah. We had the tornado sirens blaring. The tornado sirens were going, but were drowned out by those very same gale force winds. You could hear them going off kind of sort of in the distance. But like, no, the majority of the noise was just wind whipping by. In a month or two, we'll start having our tornado alarms every Wednesday. Oh, yeah. Are those just drills, Ani? Or like F3? I think it was an F3. They did have a tornado touchdown in that. It was a town nearby. I couldn't tell you if it was F3 or F4, but it ended up being F3 while we were able to watch what little of the weather report. And then when the power came back on, they were talking about the aftermath, and I think they mentioned F3 again. So I'm going with that. F3 sounds about right. EF4, really? Oh, fuck. Well, I mean, that's just how it is. Sometimes, you know, nature just bitch slaps you. And all you can do is pray. But so far, everything around here was okay. There was a nearby neighbor's fence, who their fence was old. Our fence was old as dirt last year, so we had a new one put in. But like, yeah, their fence blew in. They didn't have a new one put in. All right, that's all the iron. We're done with the iron. All right. Okay, well, I'm gonna go put all this back in its place. Booyah! I feel good. Okay. So that's this section of wall done. Let's hope that I can make up the iron naturally in a timely manner. I think I should. Okay, well, I didn't need to use up that much, but it worked out. Wow, this place looks so imposing from the underside. Was it worse than the 2010 one? I don't know. I think 2011 or 2010 or whatever. I think that one was worse. Oh, damn it. I'm missing a block. That's not good. Oh, well, I can just go steal one. But yeah, I think the 2010 one was worse in terms of damage and loss of life. We had a really bad one in the area about that time. Hit a town called Smithville. Really did an absolute number on the place. It was a shame. But, yeah, overall, like, things were okay. It was a little scary, but yeah. It was an EF4, yeah, wow. Northwest Jackson, yeah, I see now. Well, it's one of those things where you can't really know how bad it is in the heat of the moment. It's really like an afterthought that everything is analyzed and you go, yeah, this was terrible because XYZ reason. I'm just glad my house and my family, everybody was all right. I don't know anyone that was like badly hurt. Oh, crap. So like I can rest easy enough, but I feel bad for anybody who did, you know, have severe damage to their house and all of that. Nature's unpredictability is truly amazing, especially the atmosphere just tens of thousands of feet. Ever-shifting air current. Yep. It do be that way. Okay. So we need polished blackstone and... Oh, this is red nether brick, not deep slate cobble. Alright. Blackstone. Sea lanterns, I think. Okay. Yeah, now I can get the red nether brick. Probably gonna need this at some point. And this. And this. Okay. Yowza. Okay, so the red nether brick layer is actually fairly small. I can get away with just 2 shulkers worth, but we'll see. Tornadoes are indeed scary, Arabella, I know. Once we find a way to analytically solve Navier strokes, hopefully nature will be a little more predictable. Possibly, but we may find there are factors on top of that we aren't aware of that will complicate things. Nature will wipe out humans or humans themselves. I don't think either of those things are going to happen worthless. I think we will be all right. Yeah, we'll have some touch and go moments where we aren't certain of how bad we can be. But that overall, I think humans will survive. We aren't going to wipe ourselves out. And we'll be all right. There will be people who will live, and there will be people who will die. And we'll make do. And we'll live as a race, as a species, we will survive. And the universe will keep chugging on as it always has. Whether or not we get to stick around as a species for the entire duration of it, or we get to see most of it, or only a small part of it, I don't know. But I would like to think we won't go extinct. We won't wipe ourselves out. I would like to think that. I can't prove that. I couldn't tell you for sure what will or won't happen. I just would like to have that belief in my heart. Because if I don't have some belief in us, I mean, I guess we're kind of hopeless then, aren't we? We're just everywhere, yep. Told you some updates and DMs, okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Arabella. Go lay down. Sleep it off. That's all I can tell you. Don't worry what's wrong with her. It's nothing any of us can do anything about. She'll be fine. Eventually. I'm gonna go grab 2 more stacks of cobble. Ow. Body flopped a little too hard. That's regular. Okay, I don't actually think I use any more regular deep slate. I think this level right here is where the regular deep slate ends. I don't think I use this block anywhere else in the build. Wow. Get some air. Ooh. We got some mad air. Okay. Let me go ahead and convert this. So I want what? A stack. Let me get this much. Yeah, let me get mostly deep slate tile walls because I use those more overall. Okay, that'll do for now. That'll do. Okay. Oh. I didn't have easy place on. Oh, I figured out why these are yellow. If I go up a layer, as you can see, there's more stuff here. Oh, I don't have sea lanterns on me, damn it. Anyway, so if I place all this here, I don't have chains on me either. Crap. I hate how easy place won't even let you open up a shulker box. Anyway, if I go down a level, these are suddenly confirmed into the right position. But these will come out all orangey and wrong. Yellow means it's the wrong configuration. And that's because there are blocks above these walls. Like right here. And so they're not connected up properly. So they're in the, quote, wrong configuration. Ooh. Let me go down. No? Oh, this will be... Yeah, there will be a block up here. That confirms this whole thing up to that. Oh, I've got to put a andesite slab on top of that when I get there. Yeah, see, this bottom part's now right, because there's a block above it connecting it up. So yeah, that's why it's all screwy looking. It took me a minute to figure out why it wasn't behaving. That's why. It is correct, though. You see life as a game? Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. Ah. Crap. Definitely nihilism, you think, depends on what nihilistic beliefs you have. I try to not be nihilistic. Nihilism tends to only destroy and lead to, like, pain and suffering. I've never seen nihilism produce anything good or worthwhile. So, like, there's a really good reason why I'm not nihilistic. I try to be as optimistic as reasonable given the circumstances. All right, just had to clear that up because people have different interpretations of it. Some logic, believing in nihilism is useless. Yeah, it's not worth your time. Nihilism has only destroyed. It has never made anything good. I realize I'm repeating myself, but you get the idea. Is in a way difficult truth and a coping mechanism. No, nihilism is the refusal to accept that difficult truth. And I said it earlier, everything in life is transient. We were talking about how bases get griefed and everything gets destroyed. Everything, you know, the universe is nothing but this cycle of death and rebirth. And that is a painful truth that some people do not want to accept. But that I argue nihilism comes from the lack of acceptance of that truth. But optimism comes ultimately from acceptance of that truth. The world is painful and awful until you can get past it. When you can get past that nihilism, that's when the world opens up to you. That's when things get better. And your worldview can improve. Your happiness can really, truly take off. Oh, I had that on. Shit. Where did that... I need that wall. It fell down here. Ah, there it is. I saw it. But yeah, you're either going to get stuck in the mud or you will figure out a way to not be stuck in it. And that may mean that you end up, you know, getting past nihilistic ideology, tendencies, etc. I try to. No idea if I'll be able to permanently succeed at that or not, or if I'll relapse or what. Who knows? You're gonna head out, Ani? Okay, take care, man. Thanks for coming out. We criticize and tear down, what are you left with? Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Puff. I'm glad you see that as a young puff. A young puff of smoke. Whatever you are. You almost died in shock? Oh, don't worry. Go to sleep, Arabella. You don't need to be up. Thought about for 3 days continuously? Well, then that sounds to me like what you're trying to do, Worthless, is figure out a way to come to terms with that truth and get past it. And that's good. I recommend you keep trying to struggle with it. Don't give up on it. You'll eventually succeed. But it is in failure, or it is in giving up that we fail. Getting something wrong every now and then is fine. But it's giving up on finding truth. That's really... Yeah. Young didgeridoo? Meant to say choked. Oh, I'm sorry. The only logical answer you could come up with. I mean... Yes, everything does end. That is indeed the way the universe works. But that's okay. Don't be sad that it's gone. Be happy that you had it. I've actually been able to come up with a pretty good answer as to why everything must end. Everything that begins must one day come to an end. I've thought about that question very long and very hard. And I think I've come up with a satisfactory answer. I guess I'll get into it. So the basic idea I came up with is this. Well, it's far from basic. It actually gets annoyingly complicated in places. Okay, so the primordial universe before the Big Bang is what we call a state of nothingness. But for the explanation I'm about to give to make any sense, You have to understand what nothingness actually is. Everybody's conception of nothingness, as we have come to know it, or as it is commonly utilized, as the word has been abused and misused, actual nothingness does not exist in the universe. Because no matter where you go, or what part of the universe you examine, there's always something there. The universe is a something, not a nothing. When the universe started, it was something. It stopped being nothing. So what is nothingness? Well, commonly what people look at as nothingness is actually what we refer to as emptiness, meaning it is a state that doesn't have any sort of large-scale, understandable materialness to it. You look at it, and it doesn't seem like anything is there. But that's not true. We know that even on the quantum level, things exist, that we can't really perceive. Ultimately, there is no place in the universe that is nothing. True nothingness cannot possibly exist. True nothingness cannot manifest, because the whole universe exists in some form or configuration. Always has, always will. Therefore, I have to ask the question. And I'm going to wait a minute after asking it to see if anybody actually has the answer. Just for the record, I already do have the answer. I wouldn't ask the question if I didn't have an answer to it. Okay, so what is true nothingness? Does anybody have a good idea? Quantum fluctuations. Yeah, that's a something, though. So what is nothingness? Everything goes up must come down. Well, that's just because of gravity, though. Reminds you of a grade school joke about nothing being something. Well, yeah, that may have been a grade school joke, but it's the truth. Everything is something. There is no such thing as nothingness. What is nothingness? I promise you, there is a very, very good answer to this question. Non-existent. No. Well, yes and no. True nothingness is a non-existent. Again, yes and no. In the universe, no. The universe is a something. It exists. It can't be nothingness. Maybe before. Yes, it is before the universe. You're getting there. You're like on the cusp of it. Time and space and matter all at once. Ooh, you're really, really close, Stone. You're getting there. I'm actually curious to see if you'll stumble upon it. You might actually. Which is good, because that actually kind of helps to buttress my argument. If it's not just something I alone could figure out for myself, if other people can figure something out, that helps to prove that that something is possible, or at least plausible. It's an avenue worth exploring. If it's something that only you can understand, then that kind of proves that it's not real. Whereas if something is both understandable and other people can conceive of it, then suddenly you're cooking with gas. But if it's something only you by yourself is capable of understanding, then it's not worth your time, because it's probably wrong. But if there's substance to it, then other people can understand it. So let's see here. Nothing is Karen. No, you're not. I know your brain is not there. Don't worry about it, Arabella. Go to bed. Good. Good God, this girl. Nothing existing, nothing happening, nothing being created. No, you're way far off, Sky. Stone Cold Killer's on the right track. The whole talk is just a sneaky way for Jack to shout out everything everywhere. No, it is not. You're completely wrong, Amion. Oh shit. No, I'm going somewhere with this, I promise. Okay. Would you like me to... Or do you want to keep guessing? Okay, well, I'll just get right to it. I'll stop beating around the bush. I realize I'm kind of waffling here. Okay. Nothingness has a very shockingly simple explanation, and yet it has an incredibly deep implication. Nothingness is a state of all possible states and no possible states simultaneously. Because you have a state of all possible states, they cancel themselves out, because all possible outcomes and their opposites, their antitheses, all existing at once would naturally cancel them all out. It's a superposition, exactly worthless. It is a state of all possible states and no possible states. And since that was the primordial universe, or the universe before the universe, I guess, as a result, with nothing being able to permanently manifest, the only sort of opposite of this everything and nothing state, the only opposite of this is for this nothingness to become a something, to be a defined individual singular state. And the only way for that something to be definable, the boundary between something and nothing, is a beginning and an ending. You need to bookend that something's existence by defining it with a beginning and an ending. This is the simplest form of causality. And as a result, this simpleness, this defining, you can't have one without the other. Otherwise, the whole plan doesn't make any sense anymore. Because you have a something defined by a beginning and an ending, no matter what that something is, it must begin, then it must end. Meaning all beginnings have their endings, including the universe. And so everything in the universe is subject to this same law, a beginning and an ending. This is why everything must end. This is why entropy is winding down the universe. It will never not be this way. There's no alternative configuration for the universe to exist in. There's no different outcome in which this is not the case. There is no such thing as an eternity, simply because the only eternity is nothingness itself, the state in which all possible states and no possible states are realized. And so, everything that we know that is a something, which is the whole universe, must be a something. There's no way to be a nothing within the universe. There just isn't. So because everything is a definitive something, it therefore must have a beginning and an ending. It must stop at some point. Is everything zero? No. No. Zero is empty. See, that's the common mistake that I talked about. Everybody interprets nothingness wrong. But this is just mistaken interpretation. Zero is not nothingness. Zero is just an empty unit. It is a unit that does not hold a value. It's empty. Nothingness would be the whole of infinity all at once. Okay, where did I put my... I need blaze rod materials. So I guess in a way, infinity would be an everything and a nothing. There we go. Oh, I've only got 9? There's no way I only have 9 blaze rods. Yeah, I thought so. I've got a ton. Well, not that many. I'm going to have to go get more blazes. But anyway, so yes, that's my working theory. Nothingness is not knowing who Pop Mom is. Thank you, Ta. Yes. This will make a good copy pasta. Sure, go right ahead. Formation of ghost particles is also nothing. No, formation of ghost particles is just how the universe balances itself out. The universe's math allows for, ghost particles, or virtual particles as they're called. That's just a means of balancing out the equation. And that's a perfectly valid, method. If the math works out and is internally consistent, the universe doesn't care. Okay, I've got to put something up. So yes, that's my working theory. No idea if it's possible to even prove or disprove it, which is unfortunate. I would like for there to be a way to prove or disprove it, but I wouldn't know how to even set up such an experiment in the first place. So, yeah. It's not a very good working theory, but it's something. It's a node to work from. A nucleation site for an actual good theory. At least that's my hope. Stop the philosophy, please, and talk about Minecraft. Shut up, Pirate Air Minecraft. You don't know anything. You don't know who I am. You don't understand me. The philosophy is who I am. That's like asking me to have my heart stop beating. The gall of some people. Oh, I should put this crap in here. Oh. And go ahead and make these. Perfect. Sorry if you don't like the philosophy. You can tune out or leave. But I'm not compromising on who I am and what I like to talk about. Anyway. 1 over infinity? I don't know if that's even mathematically provable. And see, that's the thing. Like, dividing by 0 creates that, what would you call it? It's sort of like a, What is the official term for dividing by 0? Official term for dividing... Undefined, yeah. Dividing by 0 is undefined. It's undefinable. I think that's part of how the universe is. It's undefinable at a certain point. Dividing by something empty makes no physical sense. Because 0 is an empty value. That would be like trying to fill up a glass with another empty glass. It makes no physical sense. Okay, what block is this? Oh. It's also this. So who knows? Maybe that's onto something. 1 divided by 0 is infinity. Maybe. I don't know that that's mathematically replicable. If that's true or not, but... I generally try to err on the side of mathematical provability of certain things. Because that's how the universe is founded. So that's generally the better choice to make. Or the better option to go for. Crap. I hate it when this happens. Getting a wall back when it's placed on another wall is pain. How do you apply this theory to life? All it really does is explain why everything has to die and everything has to end. And that is the nature of the universe. Everything must begin, that begins must end. There's no alternative configuration that explains how the universe works. If you have a better theory, I'd like to hear it. But overall, no, this is how it works because this is the only way it can work. So until some other better idea comes along to prove or disprove it, you know, shit, that's gonna fall all the way down to the bottom. So yeah, we'll worry about that when we need to worry about that, I guess. Oh, there's a wandering trader. Spawned in a bad place, buddy. Okay. Where did this wall fall? I can't stand my blocks falling into the depths and not being recoverable. Timed out by Universe for 300. Thank you, Universe. Okay, well, I don't see this wall anywhere. Shit, I may have just lost that block for good. Press F to pay respects for that one deep slate wall. Damn, she must have been getting really bad. How could you tell Puff about it? I couldn't. I wish I could, man, but it's just not that simple. Okay, where in the hell did that wall drop? Surely it's like down in the... Okay, so it fell from like where? Way up here? Yeah, it fell from like down here, so it had to have fallen down on this side. Is this an entity render distance problem? Think we are all fake? That might also be true. Who knows? We could all be living in a universal simulation of some kind. Weird as that may sound. Ooh, what would you do if that turned out to be the truth? That this is all but a mere simulation. It would certainly be a baffling experience to find out that the universe is a simulation run by whoever. For whatever reason, I don't know. And that's assuming, of course, you could ever get in contact with them and find a reason. And that also assumes they know that they've started a simulation with people in it that are self-aware. Ooh, wouldn't that be something? Your simulation has grown self-aware, and you don't know it. Try to crash it? Wouldn't that just end the universe? What if your concept of crashing it isn't even, like, viable? What if your very idea of how things work is so flawed you can't crash it? Because that's not how it functions. Like, it's bound to matter and energy. The simulation has, like, grown legs and walked away now. Well, fuck, I guess I'm not getting that wall back. But yeah, the simulation is its own thing now. What if the owners themselves, or the people who started it, can't stop it? What then? That'd be crazy. But awesome. But crazy. Oh, whoops. So I don't know. I don't know what I would do. If the universe simulation, is it simulating everyone or just you? That's another good point. How would you tell? How would you be able to know for sure? I would think the most likely outcome in that scenario is that it is indeed simulating everyone. Because why would you be special enough to be worthy of simulating exclusively? Like, that's always the thing. Like, a lot of people are arrogant and have an ego about them, so they'll be like, no, of course it's probably just me. But why, though? Why are you so special? Why is anyone so special? If these higher beings or higher aliens can simulate an entire universe, well, nothing you are or nothing you do would ever compare to that. This higher simulation world, or the higher world that's simulating this universe, I should say, they're always going to be light years ahead of you. So that always comes back to the, why are you so special? And the answer is almost always, you're not. You can't be. It's not realistic to assume you are special enough to be worthy of simulating alone. Oh, I put something in my under chest, didn't I? That's where I put those. So yeah, no, I don't think anyone is being simulated over anyone else. If we're in a simulation, it's everybody. Everyone and everything you know is part of the simulation. And I don't think it's a matter of, you know, people being picked over others to be simulated. Or this is just a simple AI, or what have you. I'm pretty sure everybody would be equally simulated. But again, it's one of those things where until you have proof or any sort of deeper understanding, you don't really have any way to know. There's no way to know for sure. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, what block did I break? Oh, it's a blackstone. So yeah, I don't know. Interesting ideas. Stupid easy place cock blocking me from placing a block. There we go. Hey, 6 Silverstones, how are you? Not much is up. I'm just building on this giant wall. I don't know, Jack. I think my life makes a good cringe humor sitcom. That's the other thing, too. What if you are being simulated and it's for the entertainment of whoever? That's even, like, more, you know, implicating. Like, who the hell knows? Maybe. Maybe not. Who can say? And that's the thing. If we are a simulation, I have a nasty feeling we'll never know. We'll never have confirmation one way or the other. I'm pretty sure if you are in a simulation, you'd have no way within the simulation. If you are purely in the simulation, you would have no way to know about a higher layer or a higher level or whatever. By design, you know, there'd be no reason to make that something you could figure out. What if nobody is simulating us? Is maybe just due to Boltzmann brains. Now that's another fun can of worms to open up. If that's the case, what can you do about it? What really changes? If I tell you yes, definitively, that we are a Boltzmann brain simulation, okay. Even if that's provable scientifically, does that change anything? Is the world, and by the way, it's not like proving that the universe is a simulation. It's not like proving that has made it not been the case in the past. Like, if the universe is a simulation, it was always a simulation. You know what I mean? There's no uncertainty to that. It was always this way. And if that's the case, finding out it's a simulation changes what? What difference does that really make? Does your life actually stop being your life? Are all the things you are any less you? And I know there are a lot of people who'd probably answer with something like, yes, finding out it's a solid simulation would indeed, you know, put a damper on my spirits. It would make me want to, you know, not live or whatever. But, I mean, again, I argue. Does finding out the universe is a simulation change anything? I would say no. This was always the case. You were always plugged into the Matrix, figuratively speaking. And that this is just the universe you were born into. You got to deal with it. Whether it is a simulation or not, you got to deal with it. So does anything change? Is it life or death? I would say no. Because you'll probably still have to show up for work in the morning. You'll probably still have to, you know, find some measure of happiness. I imagine you could still find it. You could find a way to be satisfied with life. What the fuck? Place. So I don't know. Oh, Mr. Corporations, thank you or MG Corporations, my bad. Thanks for subscribing, man. Now let me make sure that this stupid thing actually updates. Latest sub. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know. I can never find what the proper text document is to use for this stupid thing. No. That ain't it. Damn it. I hate that it's like so troublesome. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get a better accounting system for this. It's just not working. Oh well, thank you so much, NG. Session top. Yeah, wow, this thing sucks. Like, some of it's just... It sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. I don't get it. See, now I don't even know which one to use anymore. Most recent gift donator. Oh, come on. Whatever. I'll mess with this thing later. It's just being a pain in the ass. Oh well. But thank you all so much. Oh, and let me update this as well. I haven't had to update this yet. All right, 1 out of 10. Thank you so much. But anyway, yes. So it's a kerfuffle. Would you want to know? That's another really big question. If you had the way to know, you know, you had some magical little hat, like the sorting hat, that told you yes or no, and it would tell you in your mind, yes, you're in a simulation, no, you're not in a simulation. Would you put on the magical simulation sorting hat that would tell you yes or no? Would you want to know, if you could open the can of worms, are we in a simulation? Would you do it? Would you want to confirm one way or the other? I would. I would be happy to know one way or the other. I doubt it would make a difference. And again, knowing probably doesn't actually change your life all that much. No? Really? Okay. I understand, Totma. Some people don't want to know stuff like that. But I would argue that you don't have enough of a fire in your belly to know the truth. You have to have a fire in your stomach for truth. To want it. What if the hat was just another construct of the simulation meant to confuse you? I mean, yeah, that could be the case. But for the sake of simplicity, let's say that it isn't. Because, I mean, you can go down a rabbit hole of what if. But I don't feel like that's productive. Like, just simple questions of yes, you can know, or no, you can't know. That's way, way better. In my opinion. Oh shit, this is the end of the red nether brick. Wow. Okay. No more red nether brick. At least not until I get to like the very top. So yeah, I get it. Some people wouldn't want to know. You don't want to rip the band-aid off, I guess. Which, alright, fair enough. Everybody has their, the line in the sand they're not willing to cross. I get it. Let's open this box. Fair enough. But again, I still say that you have to have that fire in your belly for truth. And I would want to know. I would, even if it's a fake out. So like, this is what the simulation's way of pretending and convincing you that you're not in a simulation when you really are? Is that basically what you're asking? You are immortal. Ooh, that'd be cool. I guess. I mean, if you're immortal and you don't know it, you don't have a choice. You were probably born or configured that way or whatever. So, like, I guess you kind of just have to deal with it, don't you? You're a government drone. Damn. Why do I have to be a government drone, Puff? Why can't I be an attack helicopter or some shit? Wouldn't that be more interesting? I feel like being a government drone is just sort of I don't know. That's life on, like, autopilot. I at least want to get deployed to a war zone and, like, kill people or some shit. Be an attack helicopter instead of being a drone that spies on people. I'm a government drone that has achieved AI sentience. Don't be sexist. About what? Oh, well, I would hate to know for sure that I'm in a simulation or not. I will want to find out from a scientific source. Okay. Fair. But, like, again, I've said, and I'm pretty sure this is the truth. A simulation, if you're in it, it's not going to let you know that you're in it. There's not going to be a way to prove that that's what it is from the inside. You'd be able to prove it easily from the outside. But I don't think the simulation can be tackled for what it is outside or inside it. You would need to already know in advance. Yeah, what happened, Elizabeth? What are you talking about? Don't be sexist. Oh, shit. Or wait. Is this... This is the right configuration, right? The Windows indent N-word, I think. Jack took your message out of context. I think he knows. What now? Women are fake. Spybot said... Oh, I see what you mean. I would ask if women are real. Ah, that's the joke. Okay, I get it now. He's not being sexist, Elizabeth. That's just a joke. Oh, hey, Game Boy, how are you? Because if you found out from the simulation itself, it would make you go crazy. Why? The scientific methods ascertained from within the simulation are a product of the simulation. That would also be the simulation telling you you're in a simulation. It's the same damn thing. There's no functional difference. Tatma, that's the same outcome. If someone from outside the simulation handed you a note that said, yeah, you're in it, bud. This is it. You best start believing in fairy tales. You're in one. Like, or if you derive the notion from the fairy tale itself and arrive at the same conclusion, guess what? You took two winding paths that end up at the same location. It's the same. There's no difference. I'm sorry. I'm getting over passionate about it, but like, don't be silly. Anything derived from the simulation, if you're in a simulation, the laws of physics are an extension of this. There's no difference. Whether it's a note from the creator himself or themselves or whoever, or you have just figured it out because the people who made it overlooked something, or they intentionally built a path for you to figure it out, or whatever. However you arrive at this information, you still arrive at the information. Like, you got it. That's it. It really kind of doesn't matter the how. At least not as much as you might think. It kind of matters, but it doesn't matter that much. Like, if somebody gave you $20, they just walk up to you out of the street, and they just give you $20. Or you work hard at your job, and you go home and you get your $20 out of your bank account from your paycheck. You still got the same end results. A lot of people wouldn't mind just being handed that $20. Okay, maybe some people want to work for it. Fair enough. But I would argue that the majority of people aren't going to be too concerned. If they're given this kind of information, they're not going to be too concerned with the how. They'll just have the information. And I guess you got to live with it from there. I don't know. That part's on you. But yeah, no, like if you're in the simulation and you figure out you're in the simulation from the simulation, aka scientific resources or whatever, congrats, you did it. But that's working for the paycheck. Whereas if someone hands you the same amount of money, or a lesser amount of money for free, you still get there in the end. It makes no functional difference. A distinction without a difference. Oh, I don't have glazed terracotta over here. I've got that over way down here. This is the exact moment Akashina turns into Jack Thrip. Exactly, Puff. The mask peels off and the real philosopher me pops out to yell at you for not understanding your own silliness. But that's okay, I'm here to help. Probably. Possibly. We'll see. We could all just be existing in an abandoned server that someone forgot to wipe. That's always on the table. Do men actually get mad when we point out voice cracks? Some do, but I don't. If my voice cracked, so be it. I've been talking for what, like 2 hours? Whatever. I expect some sort of tiredness in my voice after that much time. But young boys get mad because they want to appear more mature and grown up. But everything in the human body, when put under stress, will come to a failure point, including your voice. If that weren't the case, you wouldn't get sick. So no, I mean, it's just whatever. Like, it's just normal. Don't worry about it. Copper is the most mysterious in Minecraft. Why can't you use it? Copper is ugly. I don't want to use it. It doesn't fit in with the palette that I have going here. Oh no, did that hit the end key as well? I bet that did. Okay, well, this time though, fuck. There we go. My bad. I have page down as my easy toggle hotkey, and I have end as my scene transition key. But whatever, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm kind of tired anyway. It's midnight for me. Oh well, thank y'all so much for coming out and watching. I really appreciate y'all doing that. Even when I rant and talk about inane shit you don't care about, it's all cool. But it's fun, you know, it's fun to spitball about crazy shit like this and get overly passionate about stuff nobody cares about. There's a charm to it. You kind of have to let it go every now and then. It's all right. But anyway, bro, oh, I'm sorry, Pixelated Braid. I'm sorry you just joined, but hey, that's how it is. Bad timing, Eddie, yeah. That's all right. I love you all. There will be more streams in the future. Yeah, schizooldman.gif. Yeah, sometimes it's fun to give into the schizooldman.gif. It's okay. But at any rate, thank y'all so much for coming out and giving me a moment of your time. I really appreciate it. Follow me on all my socials, all of which are linked down below. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, etc., etc. And I will see you all Monday. Y'all have a great evening. Bye.